So I'm in Christchurch, and as we go through the city, they are still making major repairs after the 2011 earthquake. They've done very well putting things together. The road system is not what it was, and as you'll go through, you'll still see vacant places. They've almost vacated part of the river, called it the red zone, and they're letting it turn to greenery because of liquefaction during the earthquake. And as we record, as I'm coming into the city, this morning there was an earthquake in Wellington in the morning. It's a thing. New Zealand is part of the Pacific Rim of Fire. So let's go for a walk. So we're coming towards the cardboard cathedral. As you can see, it's a beautiful day. It's very pedestrian friendly now, and when the earthquake happened, they had container units which they had shops out of, and they were proven to be very popular, but they didn't keep them. And again, as you can see, they're still putting to rights the damage. Of course, these kids wouldn't have been born then. They're happy regardless. So they have trams coming through, and there's a lovely street here with wonderful coloured buildings. We'll go down there and have a look. It's Sunday morning at the moment, so not so busy. Don't know why, it's just a very Italianate look, and believe me, that's very unusual here in New Zealand. But it's a lovely little place that they've made because of the earthquake. We'll get busy later on in the day, that's for sure. And there it comes.
Also, the 23rd of November is a Saturday, we have a house party. I have my parents over that week as well. So, honesty. I know.
New Zealand is blessed wherever you go with children's play parks. This is the one that they built. It's named after somebody. And very well stocked out, always well maintained, well looked after. And it's right next to the river, the Avon, which we're going to walk along to the front where there's a memorial. I'm not sure you'll be able to see it, but just directly over there, building the new stadium. So it's very compact. We've just had breakfast in the road there where the trams go through. The river is well known for its punting. It's actually quite long, it wraps itself around the city. And in its heyday in the 20s, it was very quintessentially British.
Is it on its own?
I don't know, it's very curious. Obviously survived the earthquake, well, unless they rebuilt it. And here you've got, well, I don't know if they're punts or walkers. A mixture of both, I think, to go along the river. Amazing. On a spring day like today, it's 20 degrees centigrade. I don't know what that is in Fahrenheit. That's 70, isn't it? Bit of a cool wind though. What a delightful thing to do. So just there, I don't know if you can make out, is a statue of Queen Victoria, English monarch, and here Captain Cook, which is obviously part of the heritage of the city. And we're just past a lot of Maori art. It was on the floor. And there's this juxtaposition of the old and the new. And generally it works very well. Lovely little spot. And they had the opportunity to reconfigure for the benefit of pedestrians all of this river, which goes to a huge botanical gardens called Hagley. That's where we're walking to. This is a bridge, trams across the bridge, which is obviously we do have trams here, but not the old type, and it goes over the river. Something about Victorian era architecture and buildings, they're just so dominant. Lots of iron grills. I think it's the art design in me that loves this kind of thing. And then you've got the soft landscape next to it. Now this is very New Zealand. You get trees, you can get anywhere. You get wonderful willows here. And then you get these Nico palms right next to it. These old Victorian buildings, they survived the earthquake and they just dominate the area. Admittedly, it's Sunday, but I'm beginning to think I'm in the film set of 28 Days Later. Hardly anyone around. Whatever drama and tragedies the city goes through, life still goes on. In this quaint yet vibrant city. And just down here you can probably see where they're starting to do the punts.
But we do have a
But it is a city and full of shops, eateries, and all the things you would expect. They've done well to revivify and reconstruct. What I'm looking for is a bookshop. So where I have walked from today, the wife and I've got to find out myself. Right. So we've walked from here. Here was the new Regent Street where we saw the tram. We walked up to here, the park, the kiddies area, and we've just gone around here about here now. Going to make our way through the shops. Chocolate shop. What? I thought it was a tale of two cities, but it's not. I think I know now where people were. They're off the streets, they're in the eateries. Some wonderful stuff. beer. Why not? You can get pretty much anything here. Locally cured sausages. Just in case you ain't got enough sushi. Just love this. Just painting onto the back of a wall, and it's actually the market that I've just filmed inside. Wonderful. Very powerful memorial here. I believe they're the names of those that fell during the earthquake. And they've been memorialised in this wonderful wall beside the river. And of course, they died unexpectedly, of some of them. It wasn't a war, but they deserve remembering as much as anyone else who has ever fallen in service of their country. It's a great thing. And it appears that they've done it in their own native language, their names. Wow. So my wife just pointed out to me as we're walking down the river here, we're aiming towards Hagley Park, the big botanical gardens, and this is obviously a rebuild because of the earthquake, but they need new earthquake standards, and I wonder if these are like Judder pillars, can bounce up and down. Interesting. We don't know, we're not engineers, but there's something obviously to make it earthquake proof. It's actually one of the reasons of the delay in some of the buildings. They wanted to make sure that they had the world-class earthquake protection, as well as sorting out the insurance. Christchurch has a wonderful botanical gardens, and the flowers are going to be in full bloom now. As you can see. Time for picnics.
I really want to know what's the name of that.
It's a Native American fruit.
American fruit.
It's a Native American, but it's kiwi. The kiwi mix on it. It's made out of carry and it's a drum, so it's got two sides.
Yeah, I saw it's got
So you've got two barrels there. So
two barrels.
yeah. So,
American fruit.
Yeah.
Did that come from the Indian?
No.
American Indian or?
no, Native American, like Native American Indian.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
I got it.
Thank you very much.
I thought it was a speaker at first, but it's nice and also good for you.
But when I get there, I'm not there yet, but when I finally get to the point where I can play both sides and pull the drum out at the same time, that's what I would like to do.
Yeah.
Play one side and play the drum at the same time.
Good. Oh, good luck with that then.
So what's drawn you to that instrument?
That instrument?
Yeah.
It's Native American, and I practice shamanic practices. So,
Shamanic?
Yeah. So I've got my shamanic drum as well. And so, but this year in particular, I don't know what actually happened. I went to a festival and I saw it there and I was like looking for an instrument. I picked it up and I could get a note out of it and I was like, oh, okay, cool, because I never played an instrument before. And then I must have gone past it, buddy, about 5 or 6 times, and then I sat down with the gentleman that was selling it, and it fell off the table into my hands. I'm like, okay, that's mine.
So it called you?
It called me.
Yeah.
And I have literally travelled the entire country and played every town in New Zealand.
Have you? Wow.
Bar the islands.
Okay.
But my favourite place that I've played it was Tana Mahuta.
Oh, up in the tree, the north end, yeah.
And it wasn't until about 3 months later when I went to talk to the guy who made it to find out about insuring it that I found out it's made to carry.
Is it?
Yes.
Wow. So it's originated from here, is it?
Yeah.
I said before, it's amazing the type of people you meet, just walking about, filming. The guy spoke to us off air quite a lot. Fascinating gentleman. Anyway, we're off back round the botanical gardens, which is actually quite big. And here there's a cafe just round the other side. I think we deserve it now. We've walked long enough. But I'll show you, just before I do finish, the map of the park. It's called Hadley Park. And we're here. But we walked in where I filmed that gentleman with the flute was here. Christchurch is down here. And we're going to go and have a cafe, and then you can go off all around. Very pleasant little place. Well, big. In the botanical gardens is this really beautiful wall of a story. The Maori and their life in the past. It really humanises what they went through to survive in a then quite harsh land, especially in the mountains. Really well done. Lovely colours. I can only imagine what it would be like in autumn. Arrowtown especially is famous for its trees. This must be similar. It was interesting in the Northland, where obviously we live, you get plantains growing wild out in the streets almost. Here they had to go in a hothouse. We are 10 degrees further south.